Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
Okay, we are in the parallel universe.
Yes.
There are aliens, I guess. All right. Sorry to bury the lead. However, was that Rudy Giuliani, soon to be disbarred and or imprisoned, who just admitted that he lied about the Georgia poll workers, saying that
Joe Biden.
the whole world knows our president, meaning Joe Biden, is a
Yeah.
criminal,
Yeah.
and not the one that's about to be indicted today,
Right.
if all the speculation is correct. It appears Jack Smith's team...
Smith's team is seen entering the courthouse.
That usually
my.
means indictments are pending.
Allison Gill, our friend, said she's getting the Indictment Watch website ready. She's like, I don't know, like Shrek or something, turning on all the switches and knobs. Here we go.
I think she uses pictures of Ann B. Davis whenever she tweets something with indictments.
Yes. Okay, so I did... Lawrence O'Donnell saying last night, I think Trump attorneys are preparing for indictment today. So, oh God, let's hope so. Oh, let's hope so.
Well, hopefully
we need it.
We'll have something to talk about with Glenn Kirschner tomorrow.
Yes, we have Carl Frisch. Today we have JoJo from Jerz, Twitter rock star. And so, very exciting.
Hi.
Come on, let it break during our show.
Please.
Jody, just check the bassinet to see what's happening.
He's not doing anything
No?
at the moment.
No?
Okay.
Baby's very
Yesterday it
still.
didn't start until about the second hour.
Right.
Was when he started freaking out.
Right. Because we need happiness today. Sinead O'Connor was
Yeah.
obviously a big blow for a lot of people I know as well. And it's the first thing I thought as an ex-Catholic myself. I'm like, she was right.
She was.
About
She was.
sex abuse and the Catholic
was.
Church. And how many people have the courage to just blow up their entire career? But she was right. She was absolutely right about it. And at the time, she said, I'm Catholic. I love God. I love the Catholic Church. That's why she was calling out, the evil she saw in it. And she was absolutely right. And it just, her death comes 1 year after her 17-year-old son died of an apparent suicide. I don't know if you guys saw her last Twitter post, because obviously the speculation is she took her own life. We don't know yet, but her final Twitter post on her new account on July 17th alluded to her son's suicide, as she linked to a great Tibetan compassion mantra and wrote, "For all mothers of suicided children." In her last tweet, she posted a photo of Shane and said, "Been living as an undead creature since. He was the love of my life, the lamp of my soul." And having just lost my mom and feeling that way about her, I don't know why, I feel like it hit a lot of my friends particularly hard. I don't know, we're, a certain generation, not the one I'm lying about, but my actual.
Right.
Yeah.
It hit Gen X pretty hard too.
Yeah.
I think. I was gutted by
my
it more than I thought I would be.
Well, she was obviously very outspoken about her struggles with mental illness. Shortly after she announced a 2022 tour of the U.S. and Ireland, her 17-year-old son Shane committed suicide, and days later she alarmed fans when she tweeted, "I've decided to follow my son." She later went to a hospital and asked for help. So she's, obviously struggled with that quite openly.
She has 3 other children too, so I feel bad for them.
Yeah. And I have a friend in the music business, my friend Glenn, who you know, but she just said, if you saw her live, just transcendent, just her voice, all of it, her talent.
She was great.
But, Rude Pundit said, maybe if people had listened to Sinead O'Connor, instead of condemning and mocking her, a whole lot of rape by the Catholic Church could have been stopped. Everyone who booed her and threatened her owes her a damn apology.
Yep.
And John Fugelsang, our ecclesiastical mook, said there are people who are still more angry that Sinead O'Connor disrespected John Paul II than they are angry at John Paul II for covering up child rape. Yep. My fellow Catholics, Sinead doesn't need your forgiveness. She deserves your thanks.
Yeah.
If you really love the Catholic Church and, God and whatever your version of it is, then especially in this environment we're in now with right-wingers calling everybody groomers, and the Catholic Church is where I don't even know what the numbers are. Massive amount of child rape has been going on, and again, she's sacrificed her career to tell the truth. Right. So,
and a lot of her music was about her relationship with her alcoholic, abusive mother, who had died just before she became big in music, and that picture of the Pope that she ripped up was taken from her mother's wall after her mother had died. She took that picture off the wall of her mother's house and used that to rip it up on Saturday Night Live.
She said after the SNL thing, she said, "I'm not sorry I did it. It was brilliant, but it was very traumatizing." yeah, I mean, it just, God, and I'd forgotten some elements too of that. She had refused to go on when Andrew Dice Clay was on because of misogyny. Like, she's, say what you want about her. She had true bravery. Like, she took stands about things she believed in. And
She sure did.
Yeah. Anyway, so that, I just feel like we need an indictment today.
We do.
We need a little.
They were showing the video of her coming off stage after she'd been booed off stage, and Chris Christopherson just hugging her, and she looked like she needed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so sad.
Well, you could feel the fragility to
Absolutely.
her, which I think is why.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
She was strong but fragile at the same time, and it came through in her music too, and that's partly why I loved her.
Yeah, yeah. I think of Jamie Raskin, whose son committed suicide, and just the incredible special kind of pain that must be, and how brave he is and fights for our country every single day, despite and now cancer, now battling cancer. It's just there are a lot braver people among us than me, and I salute them anyway. So rest in power, right?
Yeah.
Sinead. So Tristan Snell, our legal lad, said, my bet, Rudy Giuliani conceded his Georgia statements were false and defamatory because he has now told or is about to tell the truth to the DOJ under oath. Can't tell the truth in one case and defend lies in another. Yeah. This is a big tell that Rudy is cooperating with the DOJ. Is that why you think he's talking on Steve Bannon's podcast yesterday about Biden being a crook?
Maybe.
It's the hubris of these guys. You're like, shut your trap. You're about to either go to jail for Donald Trump or tell the truth and throw him under the bus. But I don't understand this, just the hubris.
I don't either.
Because I was like, what? Really? Today, he's on Steve, when he's admitted that he's a liar. I hope could they win $11 billion, Chris?
Maybe.
Ruby and Shay?
Maybe.
I hope so.
Okay. Also, let's see, Eastman, Tristan Snell, just because we're looking at all the pieces, since today might be indictment day, Tristan Snell said, watch John Eastman, carefully now. When this last attempt to dissuade the DOJ from indicting him fails, as it will, then Eastman may flip at the last second. Because, by the way, people saying, I haven't gotten a call from Jack Smith, I don't think that means what you think it means.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
That might not be good news for you. Yeah, all right. So, and then dear God. Could Andre Mitchell be any more breathless?
Oh my
Holy
God.
crap,
Why do you watch her?
Because it's what happens to be on right after the show when we're watching breaking news and whatever. Anyway, but oh my God, this breathless Hunter Biden. Oh, the plea deal's falling apart. Oh, it's back on. Okay, it's on hold. Who gives a... Oh my God.
Nobody cares.
It's just the same. But that's the part of the story. Where is it? This is exactly why we are in a universe where a rapist who is about to be indicted for the third time could even be vaguely in contention for the presidency is because of... where is it? There's a line in the thing about the breathless reporting. Yeah. The deal was thrown into turmoil as cable news breathlessly covered developments from the Delaware courtroom. Oh my God. Oh my God. So Politico came to top a copy of the Hunter Biden plea deal that was put on hold as a Trump-appointed judge by a Trump-appointed judge after a chaotic day in court. There it is, my first drink of the day, Zbiotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Zbiotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Zbiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Zbiotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now. Honestly, Jody, I don't even care. You are doing an excellent job executive producing, and I just don't. I'm trying to gin up the caring about the details of what was agreed to or why.
I know, it's just
blah, 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 blah. Okay. Meanwhile,
Frank Luntz was right.
Exactly. We don't
Zero.
care.
Thank you.
Right.
You're talking to me. I have zero interest.
Yes.
Zero interest in the Hunter Biden story. So obviously the other huge story, WTF with Mitch McConnell. Holy crap.
Oh my God.
Holy crap. I'm sorry. There is a difference between the two sides. President Biden called to see if he's okay.
Of course he did.
Donald Trump, of course, did not. I mean, and we remember all the Paul Pelosi jokes and all the, oh my God, Biden has to resign immediately anytime he trips. Or, on a sandbag or whatever. But it just, I mean, that was, my dad had a stroke. That was
That looked
terrifying
like
to watch.
that.
It sure
Yeah.
looked like a stroke to me, but he froze for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I watched
And-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then he came back later. I guess there's another fall that we didn't know about. We knew about
At the
the
12
airport,
days
yeah.
ago, yeah.
But there was one the day my mom died, July 14th. That's why I was like, oh, July 14th. We didn't know he fell. He face planted on
Yeah.
a flight from landing at Reagan. And so I have no idea what.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, but it just, again, sorry, difference in the parties. Nobody I saw, reputable
Nope.
Democrats making, just,
The look on John
Paul
Finn's
Pelosi's
face. I mean, it was
joke.
just like everybody behind him.
yeah.
Yeah. They did. They,
Yeah.
yeah. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like help
Help
the
this
man.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Help him.
And it is, I understand the instinct. It is hard because, of course, he's the one that would not let us replace Dianne Feinstein. I mean, it's just, of course, there is always hypocrisy and a double standard on their side. They think it's perfectly fine to make jokes about Paul Pelosi being nearly bludgeoned to death, or, when Biden stumbles a little bit. It's just, it's, anyway, I don't know. But you made a point about that, Chris, that it's also, these people are, I don't know how well he's serving his constituents at this point.
Absolutely.
But again, it just,
I mean, I said the same thing about Dianne Feinstein. They're not serving their constituents to.
But the thing that sticks in my craw is because of people like Mitch McConnell.
I know.
That
I know.
do not have the decency.
I know.
Did not have the decency to
Right.
let Dianne Feinstein step down.
Right.
So that we could.
That's a
put
political
someone-
reason.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it for their health reasons,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
their
he's-
dignity, and for their constituents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they're not serving their constituents well.
Anyway, I feel like most of us just have a human reaction. I just, having just
was
lost a
frightening.
parent and just watching it, I was like, oh God.
It was really frightening to look at that.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Okay, so carry the forward part. Talk amongst yourselves.
Rutabaga,
Again?
rutabaga. Okay, we just had a conversation.
Yeah, we
actually chat before the show.
Oh, do you really? Oh, that's new. we haven't really talked to each other in like 25 years.
No.
Unless it's on air.
Right.
Because I'm Nicole Kidman and To
doesn't
Die
count.
For. I'm like, if it's not on air, what's the point of saying it?
Right.
It's like
Because you look just like Nicole Kidman in To Die For.
Thank you. Thank you. You will be ice skating over my frozen face one day.
Yes, I will.
Because of climate change. LA will be a frozen
Right.
tundra.
Right. And I will be Ileana Douglas skating all over you.
It's a good point. Republicans against Trump tweeted, I have yet to see an actual Democrat who supports RFK Jr. All the support for him I see on Twitter comes from accounts with MAGA and Zelensky as a Nazi in their bio. Thank you. He is a walking false flag operation for the love of God. This is why I'm wearing my vaccine shirt. Vaxxed and waxed. Team vaccine. Okay.
Wax and wax, baby.
Yes. Okay. Dr. Doom cannot join us today, but we do have, as we said, Carl Frisch and JoJo from Jerz. Santiago Mayer, one of our little stem cells, said on Twitter, there's a stark contrast between the empathy and legitimate concern that Democrats are showing for McConnell and the utter hatred and disdain Republicans show for Biden when he so much as trips. One party has a heart, and it is not the Republicans. Sorry. There just is. There is and again, I think McConnell even joked about Biden calling him and saying, "Oh, I told him I got sandbagged." A joke about Biden tripping over the sandbag, but that's a decent man. That's a kind and decent man, Joe Biden.
He is.
There's no Republican that privately would ever admit Donald Trump is anything close to decent. Oh my God, they're probably rooting harder for his next indictment to land him in prison than we are.
Oh,
at this
they
point.
definitely are.
Trump's
Yeah.
a sociopath.
Yes,
He is.
thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you. One last one. Jeff Tiedrich said, if Hunter Biden failing to pay his taxes on time has you outraged, wait till you hear about the guy who tried to overthrow his own government because he was mad about being a big loser and then stole classified war plans and stashed them in the corner of his tacky golf motel.
Goodness.
You know, where you go poo. Just in case you didn't know what the was. Because I know I had to bleep too much.
Right.
Okay.
And toilet plumes. We know about those after
We
COVID.
know about fecal plumes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
What?
speaking of, sorry, the parties being different, Ron Filipowski tweeted, today's reminder that Kentucky changed the law to prevent Governor Beshear from appointing a Democrat to replace McConnell if he's unable to complete his term, which may be the case. It's always about raw power for them
Sure.
and about figuring out how to cheat or how to, when Democrats are elected, how do we take more power away from them so they don't really have the power
Absolutely.
that the people gave them by electing them. It's just, okay. Chris, let's start with you. Let's end the segment with you being wrong.
Okay, let's do that.
Who said of impeaching Biden? Here's the problem. It's completely unverified. There are certain critical parts of the story that have been refuted by the people in the story, so it's problematic. Who said that?
Witchy poo.
No, that would be Steve Ducey, who appears to be the
What?
Ducier of the two Duceys and
Yeah.
kind of going rogue a lot these days.
I think he's having a brain-related event.
Oh, my God. Oh, wait, I need one more good news story before
Okay.
we break, because, a MAGA pastor has said if you take your daughters to the Barbie movie, a spirit will turn them into a lesbian. Hooray!
More for you.
There it is, my first drink of the day, Zbiotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Zbiotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Zbiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Zbiotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.